Hey guys, today we'll be taking a look at a portable power station from EcoFlow. This is the Delta 3 1000 Air, a brand new addition to their power station lineup. This model's only been on the market for about a month now. We'll take a closer look, we're going to run some testing, and then we'll discuss some pros and cons of this particular unit. Before we get into it, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow our brand new Instagram page for previews, behind the scenes, and more. In the box we have our power station and an AC input cord. Now, just like the River 3 Plus, this is a very nice power cord with 14 gauge conductors. We have our display on the front showing the amount of time remaining, the current battery state of charge, the input wattage, and the output wattage. We have a single 15 watt USB-A and a single 18 watt USB-C. Yes, you heard that correctly, an 18 watt USB-C. We have our main power button and a few LEDs to show the input power status. We have an on-off switch for the AC output and then a single AC output receptacle. On the left side, we have an AC input, then we have an XT60 for connecting our solar panels. This power station features a 960 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery and a 500 watt continuous inverter. It also includes their X-Boost technology with a rating of 800 watts. Unlike some of their other power stations, I couldn't find any mention of a cycle life rating of the battery pack. However, it is advertised as being built to last 10 years. I ran a capacity test of this power station by charging it up to 100%, then I plugged in a server as a test load and let it run until the power station shut off. The load was 230 watts or a 0.24 C rate. The resulting capacity was 822 watt hours or 86%. Around 85% is very typical for these portable power stations due to conversion losses. You know, there's at least one fan in here and so forth. Alright, so we have a nice sunny day here, or at least it was sunny. For a quick solar charging test, I dragged out a 330 watt panel. The Delta 3 1000 Air is rated for a maximum input of 60 volts, 15 amps. This panel is rated for 46 volts open circuit, 9.3 amps. So this is really as large of a panel as I would want to go. I've got a small adapter here that converts the MC4 to the XT60. All right, the sun has come back out, so let's go ahead with our test here. Power station's on. Go ahead and plug in our cable here. Is it the right way? Yep, okay. So the charging is ramping up, 270 watts, 265. We're getting about 270 watts or so there, and it's estimating 2 hours to fully recharge the battery. It's currently at 59%. Moving on to the UPS functionality. Let's actually verify the transfer time of the EcoFlow here when it's operating in UPS mode. It should be 10 milliseconds or less according to the advertisements. So I have my oscilloscope here connected to the AC output, and then I just have some test lights plugged in here, so I have a test load. It's pulling about 68 watts or so there. I've got a reasonable area masked off here. Go ahead and start, and I'll unplug the AC input. It looks like the AC input dropped out at 31.8 milliseconds, and the inverter picked up at 43 milliseconds. So that's roughly 11 milliseconds of transfer time there. I also want to verify that we have continuity between the input ground and the output ground. And it looks like we do. EcoFlow does have an app to manage this and many of their power stations. The app is not required for use, however you will need it if you wish to change certain settings. Some settings of particular interest may be the toggle button to turn the EcoBoost functionality off. I typically turn that off on my power stations. Additionally, there's a setting in there to reduce the AC charging speed, which will in turn reduce the fan noise if you're using it like at a desk or somewhere where you just quite honestly don't want to listen to it. It's actually a very nice app, especially compared to some of the others we've looked at in the past. However, I'm just not a fan of having to install an app to manage pretty much everything under the sun at this point. Alright guys, I have very mixed thoughts on this power station, so let's start out with some of the pros. It's the same quality from EcoFlow that we're used to. It seems to be built very well. It has a heavy-duty solid feel when you're picking it up and moving it around. The battery capacity tested out great. The functionality seems to work. I didn't run into any issues whatsoever as I've been testing this power station. Some of the downsides, it seems to be a bit feature lacking, almost like they wanted to provide a higher capacity battery, but then they had to shave off or leave out some of the features to cut down on the price. There's one AC output. Why? At least put two. I mean, 3 or 4 would be ideal, but with one, I can't see anybody using this without also having a power strip with them. Also, an 18 watt USB-C. What am I going to do with an 18 watt USB-C port? I suppose I can charge a phone, but for comparison, the River 3 Plus had a 100 watt USB-C, which is perfect for powering a laptop or fast charging a smartphone. Also, every one of these power stations, in my opinion, should be including the XT60 to MC4 adapter for solar panels. I don't understand why that is not included. I don't think the customer should have to go out and purchase that separately. It should be a cheap part to include, a simple cable with an XT60 and an MC4 connector to plug in a standard solar panel. Lastly, the fan noise. It's not overly loud, but it's not something I'd want to have sitting on the desk next to me if it were powering my workstation as a backup. I can hear it and it will bother me. I can see this being used for emergency power, like maybe you keep it in your garage, you keep it fully charged, the power goes out, you can go out there and grab it, bring it in the house and plug in your refrigerator. Or maybe you're working at a remote job site and there's no power out there and you just need something you can pick up and take with you to power a couple of basic tools. I think it would be great for those purposes. If I were looking for a device to use as a UPS backup for a computer or a server, I would look at EcoFlow, but I would probably look at some of the other options they have. I love the River 3 Plus. I've been using the River 3 Plus since I put out that video. I never hear it. It is completely silent. The only time I know the fan's running is when I happen to glance over and I see the little icon spinning on the display. Anyway, please let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up before you go. I'll probably be back soon here with a teardown video of this, and thanks for watching.